Hello, learners. Welcome to English Made Easy, the podcast that helps you learn English in a simple, fun, and natural way. My name is Emma, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Liam.
Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here with all of you today. And it's great to be here with you, Emma. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you, Liam. I'm excited about our topic for today. It's something we do every single day, often without even thinking about it.
That's so true. Let me ask our listeners a question. Have you ever felt a little nervous before you speak to someone in English? For the first time, maybe you worry about what to say or how to say it. If you have, you are not alone. That first word, that first hello, can feel like a really big step.
It really can. I remember a story a friend told me. She was traveling in a new country and wanted to ask for directions. She was so worried about her grammar and pronunciation that she stood on a street corner for 10 minutes, just practicing the first word in her head.
Oh, I can imagine that feeling. But you know what? When she finally said hello, the person she spoke to gave her a big, friendly smile. That one word opened up a conversation and helped her find her way.
That's a perfect example of what we're talking about today. In this episode, English Greetings for Absolute Beginners, we are going to teach you how to say hello, goodbye, and meet people in English. We want you to feel confident and ready to start those conversations.
Exactly. By the end of this episode, you will learn many different ways to greet people, from a formal good morning to a very casual what's up. You will also learn how to introduce yourself and how to say goodbye. We'll give you lots of examples, practice, and even some cultural tips. So get comfortable and let's begin this journey together.
So when we talk about greetings, it's not just about one word, is it? It's about connecting with another person.
Absolutely. A greeting is like opening a door. You're inviting someone to talk with you. Think about it. When you walk into a shop and the person behind the counter says, "Hello, how are you?" It feels welcoming. It makes you feel comfortable.
It really does. It's a small thing, but it can change your whole experience. And greetings are different in different situations. For example, the way you greet your boss is probably not the same way you greet your best friend.
For sure. With my boss, I might say, "Good morning, Mr. Smith. I hope you had a good weekend." It's respectful and professional. But if I see my best friend, I'll probably say, "Hey man, what's up?" It's much more relaxed and informal.
That's a great point. The situation, the time of day, and the person you are talking to all change the greeting you use. For our listeners who are just starting, this might sound complicated, but we promise to make it easy. Let's start with the most common and useful greeting of all. Hello.
Hello. It's simple, it's clear, and you can use it in almost any situation. You can say it to your teacher, to a new colleague, to the bus driver, or to a friend. It's a perfect word to start with.
I agree. And what often comes after hello? We usually ask, "How are you?" This is a very important phrase in English. Sometimes it's a real question. We really want to know how the other person is feeling.
Right. If I ask my mom, "How are you?" I want to know if she's happy or sad, healthy or sick. But sometimes, "How are you?" is just part of the greeting. It's a polite thing to say. If a stranger in a shop asks me, "How are you?" they don't expect a long, detailed answer about my life.
Exactly. In that situation, a simple and positive response is best. You can say, "I'm fine, thank you." And you? Or, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" This keeps the conversation moving and is very polite. Let's practice that a little bit. Imagine you're in a coffee shop. The barista says, "Hello, how are you?"
You can smile and say, "I'm great, thank you. Can I have a coffee, please?" It's friendly and it's easy.
Now, let's think about the time of day. This is another easy way to make your greetings more specific and natural. In the morning, before noon, we say, "Good morning."
I love saying good morning. It feels like a fresh start to the day. You can say it to your family when you wake up or to your colleagues when you arrive at work. It's both formal and informal. You can say good morning to your boss, and you can also say good morning to your friends.
That's right. And in the afternoon, from about 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., we say good afternoon. This one is a little more formal. I don't think I would say good afternoon to my close friends.
Me neither. I would probably just say hello or hey. But good afternoon is very useful for work, or when you enter a shop, or for any situation where you want to be a little more polite. For example, if you have a doctor's appointment at 2 p.m., you can walk in and say, good afternoon. I have an appointment with Dr.
A
Evans.
perfect example. And then in the evening, after about 5 or 6 p.m., we say good evening. Again, this is a little more on the formal side. You might say it when you go to a restaurant for dinner, or if you're attending an evening event.
Good evening. Welcome to the Grand Restaurant. It sounds very elegant, doesn't it?
It does. Now, there is one very important thing to remember about good night. We do not use good night as a greeting. Good night is something we say when we're leaving or when we're going to bed. It means goodbye.
That is such a common mistake for learners, and it's a very important one to understand. If you meet someone at 8 p.m., you say, good evening. When you leave the party at 11 p.m., you say, good night.
Let's give our listeners a little moment to think. Imagine you're meeting a friend for dinner at 7 p.m. What do you say when you see them? If you thought, good evening, you are correct.
And when you finish dinner and you're going home, what do you say? Yes, you say, good night. See? It's not so difficult.
Now, what about informal greetings? The fun ones we use with friends and family.
Ah, my favorite. Instead of hello, I often say hi or hey. These are very common and very friendly. Hi is probably one of the most used words in my daily life.
Mine too. Hi is a wonderful, simple greeting. Hey is similar, but maybe even a little more casual. You can also use it to get someone's attention. For example, hey Liam, look at that.
Exactly. And after hi or hey, what do we say instead of how are you? With friends, we have so many options. We can say, what's up? Or how's it going? Or what's new?
These are all very relaxed ways of asking the same thing. They all mean, how are you? Or what is happening in your life? And the answers are usually relaxed too. If someone asks, what's up? You can say, not much. Or same old, same old.
Same old is a great phrase. It means that nothing is new, everything is the same as usual. It's very natural. Or if something interesting is happening, you can share it. What's new? Oh, I got a new job. That's a great way to start a conversation.
It's important for our listeners to know that these informal greetings are for people you know well. You probably wouldn't say, what's up, to your new boss in your first meeting.
Definitely not. It's all about context. Formal language for formal situations like work or meeting new, important people. Informal language for informal situations like with friends, family, or people your own age.
It's important for our listeners to know that these informal greetings are for people you know well. You probably wouldn't say, what's up, to your new boss in your first meeting.
Definitely not. It's all about context. Formal language for formal situations like work or meeting new important people. Informal language for informal situations like with friends, family, or people your own age.
Let's give our listeners a little challenge. Think about 3 people you know: your mother, your teacher, and your best friend. What greeting would you use for each person? For your mother, you might say, good morning, Mom, or just, hi, Mom. For your teacher, you would probably say, good morning, Mr. Jones. And for your best friend, you might say, hey, how's it going?
That's a perfect way to think about it. It's like having different tools for different jobs. You have different greetings for different people. And the more you listen to English speakers, the more you will notice which greetings they use in which situations.
That's the best advice. Listen and observe. Watch movies, listen to music, and pay attention to how people talk to each other. You'll start to get a feeling for what sounds natural.
And don't be afraid to try. If you use a greeting that is a little too formal or a little too informal, it is not a big mistake. People will understand that you are learning. The most important thing is that you are trying to connect. That's what a greeting is all about.
I couldn't agree more. It's about being brave and starting the conversation. So, we've talked about hello and how are you, time of day greetings, and informal greetings. This gives our listeners a really strong foundation.
And we're just getting started. There's so much more to explore. But this context is key. Understanding why we choose certain words is just as important as knowing the words themselves. It's about the feeling behind the greeting. Are you being respectful? Are you being friendly? Are you being caring?
Beautifully put, Liam. A greeting is a small action with a big meaning. It sets the tone for the entire conversation that follows. A warm, friendly greeting can make someone's day.
It really can. So our message to you, our wonderful listeners, is to embrace the power of a simple hello. It's your key to opening new doors and making new connections.
All right, it's time for one of our favorite parts of the show, the phrase of the day. This is where we take one very useful phrase and we look at it very, very closely.
And today's phrase of the day is a question you will hear all the time when you meet someone new. The phrase is, where are you from?
Where are you from? Let's say it slowly together a few times. Liam, you say it first.
Where are you from?
Now me. Where are you from?
Now, let's say it at a more natural speed. Where are you from?
Where are you from? We invite you, our listeners, to say it out loud with us. Don't be shy. Say it with me. Where are you from? Great job!
This question is a very common and friendly way to learn more about a person's background. It's a question about their home country or their hometown. When people hear your accent, they might be curious to know where you learned to speak English or where you grew up.
Exactly. It's usually a sign of interest. People are interested in you and your story. Now, how do you answer this question? The simplest and most direct way to answer is to say, I'm from, and then say your country. For example, I'm from Japan, or I'm from Mexico, or I'm from Egypt.
Let's practice that. I will ask the question, and Emma, you can give an answer. Emma, where are you from?
I'm from Canada. Now, let's switch. I'll ask you, Liam, where are you from?
I'm from Australia. It's that simple. Now, to our listeners, I am asking you the question. Where are you from? Take a moment and answer out loud. I'm from... Wonderful.
Now, sometimes people might want to know your city, not just your country. If someone asks, where are you from? And you say, I'm from Italy, they might then ask, oh, which part of Italy? Or which city?
In that case, you can say the name of your city. I'm from Rome, or I live in Florence. Or you can give both the city and the country in your first answer. For example, I'm from Paris, in France. This is very clear and gives a lot of information.
That's a great tip. Let's look at some variations of this question. Sometimes people might ask, where do you come from? This means exactly the same thing as where are you from?
Exactly the same. Don't let the different words confuse you. Where are you from and where do you come from are asking for the same information. The answer is also the same. I come from Brazil or I'm from Brazil. Both are perfect.
Now, let's talk about some common mistakes. A very common mistake is to answer with your nationality. For example, if someone asks, "Where are you from?" a learner might say, "I'm Spanish."
This is not a grammatically wrong sentence, but it doesn't answer the question directly. The question is where, so it needs a place in the answer. The correct answer would be, I'm from Spain.
Let's clarify that. Spain is the country, that's the place. Spanish is the nationality or the language. So if someone asks, "What is your nationality?" you can say, "I am Spanish." If they ask, "What language do you speak?" you can say, "I speak Spanish." But if they ask, "Where are you from?" the best answer is, "I'm from Spain."
This is a really important detail. Let's do a quick practice. I will name a country, and we want you, our listeners, to make a sentence using I'm from. Ready? The country is Germany. The sentence is I'm from Germany.
Let's do another one. The country is South Korea. The sentence is, "I'm from South Korea."
One more. The country is Argentina. The sentence is I'm from Argentina. Fantastic.
Let's do another one. The country is South Korea. The sentence is, "I'm from South Korea."
One more. The country is Argentina. The sentence is, I'm from Argentina.
Fantastic. Now, what about when you are from one place, but you live in another place? This is a very common situation. For example, you are from Vietnam, but now you live in the United States.
This is a great question. In this case, you can give a more detailed answer to be clear. You can say, I'm originally from Vietnam, but I live in New York now.
That's a perfect phrase. I'm originally from. This tells people where you were born or where you grew up. Let's practice that phrase. I'm originally from. For example, I'm originally from Turkey, but now I'm studying in London.
This is a wonderful way to share a little more about your story. It often opens up more conversation. The other person might ask, "Oh, you're studying in London. What are you studying?" And now you're having a real conversation.
It's a beautiful thing. So let's review the core concept. The question, "Where are you from?" is a friendly way to ask about someone's home country or city.
The best way to answer is, I'm from your country, or I come from your country.
Remember to answer with a place, the country, not your nationality. So, I'm from Japan, not I'm Japanese.
And if you're from one place and live in another place, you can use the wonderful phrase, I'm originally from country, but I live in city now.
Let's talk a little bit about the feeling or the tone of this question. 99% of the time, when someone asks you, "Where are you from?" they are being friendly and curious. It is a way to get to know you.
Yes, so it's a good idea to answer with a smile. Your body language is important too. When you answer, you can look the person in the eye and speak in a clear, friendly voice. This shows that you are happy to share and open to conversation.
And after you answer, you can ask the question back. This is very polite and shows that you are interested in them too. For example,
Where are you from?
"I'm from Canada. And you? Where are you from?"
I'm from Australia. It's nice to meet you.
See how that works? It becomes a two-way conversation. It's a dance of asking and answering.
I love that image. A conversation as a dance. It's about give and take. You share something about yourself, and you invite the other person to share something about themselves.
So, our phrase of the day, "Where are you from?" is more than just a question. It's an invitation. It's a tool for connection. It's a way to start a story. Your story.
Let's do a final, guided repetition. We will say the question and the different answers, and we will leave a pause for you to repeat. Ready? The question, where are you from? Pause.
The simple answer, "I'm from Brazil." Pause.
The alternate answer, I come from Egypt. Pause.
The detailed answer, "I'm originally from China, but I live in Sydney now." Pause.
And asking the question back, and you? Pause. Or, how about you? Pause.
Wonderful work. Keep practicing this phrase. Ask your friends, ask your family, and be ready to answer it with confidence and a smile. You have the tools now.
Knowledge is great, but practice is where the magic happens. In this section, we are going to listen to some dialogues. These are short conversations that show you how these greetings and phrases are used in real life.
We'll present dialogues for different situations, a formal situation and an informal one. We will play each dialogue once, then we will break it down and explain the language, and then we will play it again. Listen carefully to the words, the tone of voice, and the pauses.
Let's start with our first dialogue. This is a formal situation. Imagine you are at a conference for work. You are meeting a new colleague for the first time. The names in this dialogue are Maria and David.
Good morning. You must be Maria from the Barcelona office.
Yes, that's me. Good morning. And you are David, I presume, from the Berlin office.
That's right. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. I've heard great things about your work.
The pleasure is all mine, David. It's very good to be here. How was your trip?
It was quite smooth. Thank you for asking. And yours?
Very smooth as well. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the keynote speech this morning.
As am I. Perhaps we could get a coffee afterward and discuss the new project.
That sounds like an excellent idea. I'll see you then.
Wonderful. Enjoy the speech.
Okay, a very professional and polite conversation. Let's look at the language.
David starts with, "Good morning." This is a perfect formal greeting for the time of day.
He also says, "You must be Maria." This is a polite way to confirm someone's identity when you expect to meet them.
Maria responds with, "Yes, that's me," and also uses "good morning."
Notice the phrases they use to say, "Nice to meet you." David says, "It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person." This is very warm and respectful. Maria says, "The pleasure is all mine." This is a very polite and formal response.
They also use polite questions to show interest in each other. David asks, "How was your trip?" This is a great example of small talk in a professional setting. It's a safe and friendly topic. And notice how he says, "Thank you for asking." This is another layer of politeness.
Maria does the same. She answers and then says thank you. They're both showing respect and appreciation for the other's interest. When they make a plan, the language is also formal.
David says, "Perhaps we could get a coffee afterward." The word perhaps makes the suggestion very soft and polite.
Maria agrees by saying, "That sounds like an excellent idea."
And how do they say goodbye? It's not really a final goodbye because they will see each other later. David says, "Enjoy the speech."
This is a kind and situation-specific way to end the conversation for now.
This dialogue is a perfect model for professional introductions. The tone is respectful, the language is formal, and the conversation is focused and polite. Let's listen to it one more time.
Now, let's switch gears completely. Our second dialogue is very informal. Imagine two young people, Chloe and Ben, meeting at a friend's party.
This will sound very different. The feeling is relaxed, friendly, and casual. Listen for the informal greetings and questions.
Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Chloe.
Oh, hey, I'm Ben. Nice to meet you.
You too. So, how do you know Sarah?
I work with her. We're on the same team. What about you?
Cool. I know her from university. We were roommates for a year.
No way. That's awesome. So, you're from around here?
Yep, I grew up just a few blocks away. Where are you from? You don't sound like you're from this city.
You bought me. I'm originally from Ireland, but I moved here about 6 months ago for the job.
Ireland, wow, that's so cool. I'd love to go there someday.
You should. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to grab another drink. Want one?
Sure, thanks. I'll have a lemonade if they have it.
You got it. Be right back.
See? A completely different world. The energy is much higher, and the language is so much more relaxed.
Let's break it down. Chloe starts with, hey, a very common informal greeting. She then says, I don't think we've met. I'm Chloe. This is a super friendly and confident way to introduce yourself to a stranger at a social event.
Ben responds with, oh, hey, and I'm Ben. Instead of the formal, it's a pleasure to meet you, he says, nice to meet you. Chloe's response is also short and sweet. You too.
The small talk is also different. Chloe asks, so, how do you know Sarah? This is a perfect question for a party. It connects them through their mutual friend.
And look at the casual language they use. Ben says, no way, and that's awesome. These are expressions of surprise and enthusiasm. They are very common in informal American and British English.
Chloe says, cool, and yep. Yep is a very informal way to say yes. Then we see our phrase of the day in action. Chloe asks, so, you're from around here. This is another way of asking, do you live in this city?
Ben's answer is a great example of what we talked about. He says, I'm originally from Ireland, but I moved here about 6 months ago. It's the perfect answer for his situation. And notice Chloe's reaction. Ireland? Wow, that's so cool. She shows genuine interest.
The way they end the conversation is also very casual. Ben says, anyway, I'm gonna grab another drink. Gonna is a very common spoken contraction of going to. He offers to get her one, which is friendly.
And his final line, you got it, be right back, is also very natural and informal. It means, okay, I will do that. I will return soon.
This dialogue is full of language that you will hear among friends. It's fast, it's friendly, and it's fun. The best way to learn this style of speaking is to listen a lot and not be afraid to use these casual phrases with people you know well.
Let's listen to Chloe and Ben's conversation one more time. Try to notice the rhythm and the relaxed feeling.
So we have two very different scenarios, one formal, one informal, one at work, one at a party.
What's the key takeaway for our listeners? It's that you have choices. English gives you many different ways to say the same thing. The important skill is to choose the right words for the right situation.
A great way to practice this is to role play. Imagine you are meeting your new English teacher. How would you greet them? What questions would you ask? Pause. Now imagine you are meeting a new friend in a park. How would that conversation be different? Pause.
Thinking about these situations will help you prepare for them in real life. You can even practice out loud by yourself. It might feel silly at first, but it is incredibly helpful for building confidence.
And remember, the goal is connection, not perfection. In both dialogues, the people were polite, they showed interest, and they listened to each other. That is the heart of a good conversation, no matter if it's formal or informal.
Emma and Liam here. Welcome back to our deep dive section. Here, we take a closer look at the small details of pronunciation and grammar that can make a big difference in how you sound and how well you're understood.
Today, we're going to focus on two things. First, the pronunciation of questions. And second, the simple present tense with the verb to be, which is essential for introductions.
Let's start with pronunciation. In English, the music of the language is very important. We call this intonation. For many questions, our voice goes up at the end. This tells the listener that we are asking a question and expecting an answer.
Let's take the question, how are you? If I say it like a statement, with my voice going down, it sounds flat. How are you? Downward intonation. It doesn't sound like a real question.
What if I let my voice rise at the end? It sounds much more friendly and natural. Listen, how are you? Rising intonation. Can you hear the difference? My voice goes up on the word you.
Let's practice this with a few other questions we've learned today. We'll say it with a flat intonation first, and then with the correct rising intonation. Repeat after us. First, the flat, incorrect way. Are you from Spain? Downward.
Now, the correct questioning way. Are you from Spain? Upward. Your turn. Excellent.
Let's try another. The name of this person is Anna. Flat way. Is your name Anna? Downward.
Correct way. Is your name Anna? Upward. Let's hear you say it. Fantastic.
This rising intonation is very common for yes-no questions, questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. However, for questions that start with words like what, where, when, why, and how, the intonation often goes down at the end.
This might seem confusing, but let's practice and you'll get the feel for it. Take our phrase of the day. Where are you from? Listen to my voice. It goes down at the end on the word from. Where are you from? Falling intonation. It doesn't go up.
Let's try another one. What's your name? Falling intonation. My voice goes down on name. It's a request for information. It's not a yes-no question.
Let's do a little drill. I will say a question, and you, our listeners, can decide if the intonation should go up or down. Ready? Question 1. Do you like coffee? Pause.
That is a yes-no question, so the intonation should go up. Do you like coffee? Rising.
Good. Question 2. What time is it? Pause.
That starts with what, so the intonation goes down. What time is it? Falling.
Last one. Is this your book? Pause.
That's a yes-no question, so up. Is this your book?
Great job. Don't worry about being perfect right away. The most important thing is to start noticing this music in the English you hear around you. When you watch a movie, listen to how the actors ask questions. This listening practice is incredibly valuable.
Now, let's move on to our grammar focus, the verb to be in the simple present tense. This is one of the first and most important verbs you will learn in English. We use it for introductions all the time. For example, I am Liam. You are a student. She is from Japan.
The verb to be changes its form depending on the subject. Let's go through it together. Repeat after me. I am. You are. He is. She is. It is.
And for the plural forms, repeat after me. We are. You are for a group of people. They are.
Excellent. This is the positive form. We use it to state facts. I am a teacher. They are my friends. Now, a very common and natural thing to do in spoken English is to use contractions. A contraction is a shorter way of saying something.
For example, instead of I am, we usually say I'm. Instead of you are, we say you're. Instead of he is, we say he's. Let's practice these contractions. They will make you sound much more natural. Repeat after me. I'm. You're. He's. She's. It's. We're. They're.
Excellent. Let's put them in sentences. I'll say the full form, and Liam will say the contracted form. I am happy.
I'm happy.
She is from Mexico.
She's from Mexico.
They are late.
They're late.
See how much smoother that sounds? In writing, especially formal writing, you might use the full form. But in conversation, we use contractions almost all the time.
Now, what about making negative sentences? What if you want to say something is not true? We simply add the word not after the verb to be. For example, I am not a doctor. You are not from Canada.
And, of course, we have contractions for the negative form, too. For are not, we can say aren't. For is not, we can say isn't.
Let's practice those. You aren't late. He isn't my brother. But be careful, there is no common contraction for am not. We do not say amn't. We just say I'm not. This is a special case.
Let's do a quick correction drill. I'm going to say a sentence with a mistake. We want you to find the mistake and say the correct sentence. Sentence 1, she are a student. Pause.
The subject is she, so the verb must be is. The correct sentence is, she is a student, or she's a student.
Good. Sentence 2, they is from Brazil. Pause.
The subject is they, which is plural, so the verb must be are. The correct sentence is, they are from Brazil, or they're from Brazil.
Last one, sentence 3, I is not a teacher. Pause.
With I, we always use am. The correct sentence is, I am not a teacher, or I'm not a teacher.
Wonderful work. Mastering the verb to be is like building the foundation of a house. It supports so many other things you will learn in English. So take your time with it, practice it every day, and soon it will become automatic.
And remember our pronunciation tip about intonation. Try to make your questions sound like questions. This will make your conversations much more engaging and easy to understand. These small details really do make a world of difference.
It's time to test your knowledge. This is our interactive quiz section, where you get to actively participate and see how much you've learned. Don't worry, it's not a test. It's just for fun and for practice.
We'll have a few different types of questions. All you need are your ears and your brain. Let's start with a multiple choice quiz. I will give you a situation and 3 possible greetings. You choose the best one. Ready?
Let's go!
Question 1. You are walking into a very important business meeting at 10 a.m. Your boss is there. What is the best thing to say? A. What's up? B. Good morning. C. Hey, everyone.
Okay, what do you think? The situation is a formal business meeting. What's up and hey are too informal. So, the correct answer is B. Good morning. That's the most professional and appropriate greeting.
Exactly. Question 2. You see your best friend at a coffee shop in the afternoon.
You haven't seen them in a week. What is a natural and friendly thing to say? A. Good afternoon. B. How do you do? C. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, good afternoon is a bit too formal for a best friend. How do you do is very, very formal and not very common in everyday conversation anymore. So, the best answer is C. Hey, how's it going? It's casual, friendly, and perfect for the situation.
Perfect. Last multiple choice question. Question 3. You are leaving a party at 11 p.m. What do you say to your friends as you leave? A. Good evening. B. Good night. C. See you.
Okay, this is a tricky one because two of them are possible. But what is the most common phrase for leaving at night? Remember, good evening is a greeting, not a goodbye. See you works, but the most specific phrase for leaving at night is B. Good night.
Well done, everyone. Now for our next quiz. This is a fill-in-the-blank challenge. I will say a sentence with a missing word. You have to say the word that fits in the blank.
Sentence 1. I'm originally from Japan, but I blank in London now. Pause. What's the missing word? It's live. I live in London now.
Sentence 2. It's a blank to meet you, Mr. Johnson. Pause. This is a formal situation. A very polite word you could use is pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Sentence 3. A friend asks you, "What's up?" A very common casual response is not blank. Pause. The word is much. Not much.
Great job. I hope you are having fun with this. Now let's open up our Q&A mailbag. These are questions sent in from listeners just like you.
Our first question comes from Hiroki in Osaka, Japan. Hiroki asks, "Hello, Emma and Liam. Thank you for your show. I am confused about nice to meet you and nice to see you. What is the difference?"
That is an excellent question, Hiroki. It's a very common point of confusion. The difference is simple. We say nice to meet you only the first time we meet someone. The very first time.
Exactly. After you have met them once, you know them. So, the next time you see them, and every time after that, you say, "Nice to see you."
So let's imagine a situation. On Monday, I meet a new colleague, Tom. I shake his hand and say, "Hi, Tom. I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you."
Then, on Tuesday, I see Tom again in the kitchen. I can smile and say, "Good morning, Tom. It's nice to see you again."
So, meet is for the first time. See is for every time after that. Great question, Hiroki.
Our next question is from Fatima in Dubai. Fatima writes, "Sometimes when I say I'm fine, thank you, people look at me like it's a strange answer. Why?"
Fatima. This is a fantastic question about culture and natural-sounding English. While I'm fine, thank you, and you is 100% grammatically correct, and what you learn in textbooks, in many casual situations, it can sound a little robotic or overly formal.
It's not wrong, but native speakers often use different phrases. If a friend asks, "How are you?" you are more likely to hear answers like, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" "Pretty good. What about you?" "Can't complain." This is a positive phrase that means things are good. "Not bad, not bad."
The key is that the response often invites more conversation. "I'm fine" can sometimes feel like it's closing the conversation. Saying, "Pretty good, I had a really relaxing weekend," gives the other person something to ask about.
So, Fatima, our advice is to listen for the different ways people around you answer, "How are you?" and try to use some of those variations. Your answer's not wrong, but adding some of these other phrases to your vocabulary will help you sound even more natural.
Thank you for that question. It's a brilliant one. We have time for one more. This one is from Javier in Colombia. Javier asks, is howdy a real greeting in English?
Javier, yes, it is. But with a big warning. Howdy is a very informal greeting that is strongly associated with the American West, especially cowboys and rural areas. It's a short version of how do you do?
If you go to Texas, you might hear people say howdy in a friendly, everyday way. However, if you say howdy in London or New York, people might be a little surprised. They will probably think you are joking or that you really love cowboy movies.
So the answer is yes, it's real, but it is not a standard greeting that you should use in most situations. For learning purposes, it's much safer to stick with hello, hi, and hey. It's a fun word to know, but maybe not one to use in your next business meeting.
That was a fun question to end on. Thank you to Hiroki, Fatima, and Javier for your questions. We love hearing from you. If you have a question for us, please visit our website, englishmadeeasy.com/ask.
We hope those quizzes and answers have helped to make things even clearer for you. Keep practicing, stay curious, and keep asking questions.
And culture. And now, welcome to the Cultural Corner. In this segment, we explore the culture behind the language, because learning a language is not just about words, it's about understanding people and their customs.
Today, we're talking about something very important that goes with greetings: personal space and physical contact. This can be very different from culture to culture.
In many English-speaking countries like the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia, people generally like to have a certain amount of personal space. This is like an invisible bubble around them. When you are talking to someone you don't know well, it's polite to stand about an arm's length away.
Standing too close can make someone feel uncomfortable. Of course, this changes with people you know well. With a close friend or family member, you might stand closer or even hug them.
Let's talk about physical contact when greeting. In a formal or business situation, the most common form of physical contact is a handshake. A good handshake is firm, but not too strong, and it lasts for just a few seconds. You make eye contact and smile while you shake hands.
For example, when you meet a new boss, you would likely shake their hand and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you." You would not usually hug them or kiss them on the cheek.
In informal situations, among friends, greetings are much more varied. A handshake is less common. Friends, especially women, might hug each other. This is usually a brief, light hug.
Among male friends, a hug is also possible, but sometimes they might do a quick, one-armed hug, a pat on the back, or just a friendly wave and a smile. Kissing on the cheek is not very common as a greeting in most parts of the US or the UK, unlike in some European or Latin American countries. It can happen, but it's usually only between people who know each other very, very well.
The most important tip is to observe what other people are doing. If you are not sure what to do, a friendly smile and a nod is always a safe and polite option. You can also offer your hand for a handshake, and the other person will usually respond. The key is respect. Being aware of personal space and cultural norms about touch shows that you are considerate and respectful, which is a wonderful way to start any interaction.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to our vocabulary insights. This is where we teach you a few more advanced,
or interesting words and phrases related to our topic. Today, we have 7 new items for your vocabulary notebook.
Vocabulary word 1. To break the ice. To break the ice means to say or do something to make people feel relaxed and comfortable when they first meet. A good greeting or a simple question can help to break the ice. For example, at the start of the meeting, he told a funny story to break the ice.
Vocabulary word 2. An acquaintance. An acquaintance is a person that you know, but who is not a close friend. For example, you might know many people from work. Some are your good friends, and others are just acquaintances. I have many acquaintances in the industry, but only a few true friends.
Vocabulary word 3. A gesture. A gesture is a movement you make with your hands, head, or face to express something. A smile is a friendly gesture. A wave is a gesture for saying hello or goodbye. He made a warm gesture of welcome with his open hands.
Vocabulary word 4. To make small talk. Small talk is polite, casual conversation about unimportant things, like the weather or sports. We use small talk to be friendly and pass the time with people we don't know well. For example, I'm not very good at making small talk at parties.
Vocabulary word 5. A warm welcome. A warm welcome is a very friendly and enthusiastic greeting. If someone gives you a warm welcome, they make you feel very happy and comfortable to be there. For example, when we arrived at the hotel, we received a very warm welcome.
Vocabulary word 6. To greet someone with open arms. This is an idiom. It means to welcome someone very warmly and happily. It creates a beautiful image of someone ready to give a big hug. For example, when she returned home after a year abroad, her family greeted her with open arms.
Vocabulary word number 7. To get off on the right foot. This is another idiom. If you get off on the right foot with someone, you have a good start to your relationship. A good, friendly first meeting helps you to get off on the right foot. For example, I want to make a good impression and get off on the right foot with my new team.
Those are some fantastic words and idioms. Let's do a very quick review. To break the ice, to start a conversation. An acquaintance is someone you know, but not a close friend. A gesture is a movement you make with meaning. To make small talk, polite, casual conversation. A warm welcome is a very friendly greeting. To greet with open arms, to welcome very happily. To get off on the right foot is to start a relationship well.
Try to use one of these new words or phrases this week. Maybe you can try to break the ice with a new person using the greetings we taught you today. That would be a great way to practice.
We believe that learning is powered by inspiration, and the best inspiration comes from real stories of success. In our Success Story Spotlight, we share a story about a learner who used the skills we are talking about to make a real change in their life.
Today's story is about a woman named Isabella. Isabella moved to London from Brazil for her job. She was very good at her job, and her written English was excellent. She could write perfect emails and reports. But she was very, very shy about speaking.
The thought of starting a conversation, even a simple one, made her feel very anxious. At work, she would sit at her desk during lunch because she was too nervous to go to the kitchen and make small talk with her colleagues. She wanted to make friends, but she felt trapped by her fear.
She felt lonely. She knew she needed to change something. So she gave herself a very small, very simple challenge. Her challenge was this. Every day, she had to say, "Good morning," to the security guard at the entrance of her office building.
That was it. Just 2 words. The first day, her heart was beating so fast. She walked past him and she almost didn't do it.
But she took a deep breath, turned back, and said, in a quiet voice, "Good morning." The security guard, a big, friendly man named George, smiled and said, "Good morning to you too."
Isabella felt a huge sense of relief. It was a small victory, but it felt enormous. The next day, she said good morning again, and this time it was a little easier. George said, "Good morning. Have a great day."
She continued this every single day. Good morning, good morning. After a week, George started the greeting first. "Morning, Isabella," he would say with a big smile. He had learned her name. This small connection made Isabella feel seen. It made her feel like she belonged a little bit more.
Her next challenge was the coffee shop near her office. Every day, she would order her coffee by just pointing. She decided she had to speak. The first time, she practiced in her head, latte, please. When it was her turn, she looked at the barista and said, "Hello, can I have a latte, please?"
The barista smiled and said, "Of course," coming right up. It was another small interaction, another small success. Isabella started to realize that people were not judging her English. They were just happy to have a friendly interaction.
These small steps gave her confidence. She started saying hello to people in the elevator. She started going to the office kitchen. One day, a colleague was there, and Isabella remembered the phrase, "How's it going?" She took a deep breath and said it.
The colleague was so happy to talk to her. They had a short, simple conversation about their weekend. It wasn't perfect. Isabella made some grammar mistakes, but it didn't matter. They were connecting. That conversation was the beginning of her first real friendship at work.
Isabella's story is not about learning 1,000 new words in one day. It's about the power of one small step, the power of hello, the power of good morning. These simple greetings were her keys. They unlocked doors she thought would be closed to her forever.
Her story teaches us that you don't need to be perfect to connect with people. You just need to be brave enough to start. Your journey in English might feel long and difficult at times. You might feel shy or afraid of making mistakes. That is completely normal.
But we want you to remember Isabella. We want you to think about the smallest step you can take today. Who can you say hello to? Can you say good morning to the bus driver? Can you say hi to a person in your class?
Every single time you use your English to greet someone, you are building a bridge. You are building your confidence. You are telling yourself, I can do this. And you can. Your voice deserves to be heard, and your story deserves to be shared. It all starts with that first brave hello.
So be brave. Be patient with yourself. And celebrate every small victory just like Isabella did. You are on an amazing journey, and we are so proud to be a small part of it. You are doing an incredible job.
We have covered so much today. Before we finish, let's take a few moments to review the most important points from this episode. This is your summary of key takeaways.
First, we learned that greetings are essential for making connections. The words you choose depend on the situation, the time of day, and the person you're talking to.
Let's quickly review the key greetings. For formal situations, or any time you want to be polite, you can use hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. For informal situations, with friends and family, you can use hi, hey, or what's up?
Remember the important rule about good night. We only use good night to say goodbye at night, not to say hello.
After greeting someone, it's common to ask, how are you? In formal situations, a good reply is, I'm fine, thank you. And you? In informal situations, you can say, I'm good, thanks, or pretty good, How about you?
Our phrase of the day was, "Where are you from?" This is a friendly question to learn about someone's home country or city. The best answer is, "I'm from your country." For example, "I'm from Thailand." Remember to answer with the place, not the nationality. If you live in a different place now, you can say, "I'm originally from country, but I live in city now."
In our deep dive, we learned about pronunciation and grammar. For the music of questions, remember that yes-no questions usually have a rising intonation. Your voice goes up. Example, are you a student? Questions starting with what, where, how, etc. usually have a falling intonation. Your voice goes down. Example, what's your name? We also practiced the verb to be, am, is, are, and its very important contractions, I'm, you're, he's. Using these contractions will make you sound much more natural.
From our cultural corner, we learned the importance of personal space and that a handshake is the most common form of physical greeting in formal situations in many English-speaking countries. When in doubt, a warm smile is always the perfect gesture.
So, what can you do this week to practice? We have 3 actionable steps for you. Action step 1, the Isabella challenge. Choose one person you see regularly, but don't usually speak to, and greet them in English every day this week. Just a simple hello or good morning. Notice how it feels.
Action step 2, be a greeting detective. Listen carefully to the English you hear this week, in movies, in songs, in real life if you can. Write down 3 different greetings you hear and the situation in which you hear them.
Action step 3, practice your introduction. Stand in front of a mirror and practice introducing yourself. Say it out loud. Hello, my name is your name. I'm from your country. It's nice to meet you. Practice with a smile. Doing this will build your muscle memory and your confidence.
These small, consistent actions will make a huge difference. The goal is not to be perfect overnight. The goal is to be a little bit better, a little more confident than you were yesterday.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of English Made Easy. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope you feel more confident and prepared to greet the world in English.
Remember, every expert was once a beginner. The journey you're on is a brave one. And every step forward, no matter how small, is a reason to be proud. Keep practicing, stay curious, and be kind to yourself.
If you found this episode helpful, we would be so grateful if you would subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you're using. It helps other learners like you find our community.
And if you have an extra moment, please leave us a review. Your feedback helps us make the show better and better. You can also share this episode with a friend who is also learning English. Learning together is always more fun. We have some exciting topics coming up in the next few weeks. In our next episode, we're going to talk about how to order food and drinks in a restaurant. You won't want to miss that.
Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember our message. You don't need perfect English to belong. You just need to be you, with a few more words.
Goodbye for now, everyone.
Bye-bye.